Hi, so this is the video lesson for lesson number 6. This lesson we're going to do things a little differently. We're not going to do the entire book the entire lesson because part of it is really hard to do at home. So please bear with me as I'm telling you what to do and what not to do, okay? I'm sorry this is a little bit confusing, but part of it involves sharing and blocks that you obviously don't have at home. And you can't share with partners. So we're going to change this up just a little bit. Please do your best and know that part of this we're just going to kind of ignore. All right. This is the application problem for lesson 6. Emmy lined up 4 yellow cubes in a row. Fran lined up 7 blue cubes in a row. Who has fewer cubes? How many fewer cubes does she have? So we've gone ahead and run. We're trying to find out how many fewer, so that tells me we need to subtract. We're subtracting. We're comparing one amount to another, so we need to subtract. So let's go ahead and read it a second time to make sure we understand everything we need to do. Emmy lined up 4 yellow cubes in a row. Fran lined up 7 blue cubes in a row. Who has fewer cubes? How many fewer cubes does she have? So the first thing we're going to do is draw Emmy's cubes, and Emmy has 4 yellow cubes. You can color this in if you want to with some colored pencils, but you do not have to. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 for Emmy. Then we have Fran has 7 blue cubes, so I need to draw Fran 7. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, here I have 7 for Fran and 4 for Emmy. Then I'm going to go say, okay, so who has fewer? Well, just looking right away, you can see who has fewer. Emmy. Emmy has fewer. So we're going to write that down. Emmy has fewer cubes, right? We don't want to forget that part or to answer that part of the question. So we're writing the answer to the first, and then we'll write the answer to the second. The second question is, how many fewer cubes does she have? So we know Emmy only has 4, Fran has 7. So how many fewer does she have? So looking at this, we can say 7 compared to 4. So we need to subtract. 7 minus 4 equals something. I say this time we haven't been using our fingers. Let's try a different strategy for subtracting. Go ahead and hold up 7 fingers. So that's 5 on one hand and 2 on the other because 5, 6, and 7. 7 fingers. Now we're going to take away 4. And we'll do it one at a time. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And how many fingers do I have up? Left is my answer. I have 1, 2, 3 fingers. And therefore 7 minus 4 equals 3. Now, it doesn't tell me how many cubes Emmy has. We're saying how many fewer cubes Emmy has. And Emmy has 3 fewer cubes. So I'm going to go ahead and write that. Emmy has 3 fewer cubes. Because she doesn't have 3. It's important we distinguish the difference between having and has fewer. Emmy has 3 fewer cubes. I'm going to hold this up here for a second in case you need to pause. Or you just need another second to go ahead and finish. All right, I'm going to go ahead and turn the page. This is where I needed you guys to kind of bear with me to see what changes need to be made. This first part says work with a partner or another to build a structure with your 3-dimensional cubes. You don't have 3-dimensional cubes and shapes at home, and you don't have a partner to work with. So we can't really do this problem, which is really all the rest of these problems together. So I would say it would be really great if you could go ahead, and you can't do this obviously, draw a picture of 3D shapes. Do your best. It's really hard to draw 3D shapes, so I'm not looking for it to be perfect. I'm going to show and model how to do some 3D shapes here, and just kind of have fun, draw it, and then let me know what shapes you used, and Then, once you're done with telling me which shapes you used, go ahead and tell me what shapes did you put at the bottom of your picture, and which shapes did you not choose to use. So maybe you didn't choose to use one, and I'd love to find out why you didn't do this. For this why or why not, I'm only looking for one sentence. I'm not looking for a whole paragraph. Just give me what did you use on the bottom, list the shape, and then one sentence on why. I don't need a whole paragraph, okay? And then for the what did you not use, give me just the name of the shape and then one sentence why. If you want to write more, you can, but you do not have to. I'm looking for one sentence. So maybe you put a cube on the bottom, just say why you put a cube on the bottom. If you didn't use a shape, just be like, I didn't use a sphere because it would not look good. I don't know. So draw a picture and then tell me what you used and why you used it. There's really no right or wrong on how to do this part because you're not building it in person. So just kind of have some fun and draw some shapes here. Maybe you just draw a few shapes here and you tell me what shapes you drew and which ones you didn't. That's fine too. Just take a picture of what you did draw and go ahead and write what you did draw. So I'm going to show you how to draw some of these 3D shapes here. So I'm going to start with a cube because cube is on our first on the list. To draw a cube, the first thing you're going to need to do is go ahead and draw a square. I'll show you my square in just a second. So you went ahead and you drew a square. Obviously, Miss Fisher, that isn't a cube. That's a 2D shape. It's a square. I know. We'll get there. So to go ahead and draw it into a cube, you're going to go ahead and draw a little line here. Not the length of the whole cube, but a line that's at an angle. It looks a little funny at first, but you'll see. And then you're going to go ahead and draw another line here. So it kind of looks like the cube has some like arms waving in the air like it's going to a party. Woo! And then you're going to do another one down here. So maybe it has its leg in the air. Or it's a table at a really weird angle. So here you have that. Then once you have those 3 lines, what you're going to do is go ahead and connect these 2 together. And there you have the top. Then you're going to connect this point here to this point here and just draw a straight line down. And obviously those don't need to be perfect. Mine's not perfect. And there you have it, a cube. Cube. The next one is a sphere. Now a sphere is a circle that's 3D basically. So the first thing you're going to go ahead and draw is a circle. Oops, not the greatest circle. Alright, once you have the circle, you're going to go ahead and draw like a line here that's like a smaller half of a circle. Like you're giving it a smiley face from edge to edge. Then, what you're going to do is you can either do a dotted line here to finish this sphere, or you could do another solid line. So I went ahead and did dotted, and I'll show you what it looks like with a solid line. Either way is kind of how you can draw a sphere. And there's a sphere. The next one is a rectangular prism. So you guessed it, you're going to start with a rectangle. Then like the cube, you're going to go ahead and draw some lines. Like it's got its arms in the air, or you're drawing like a table upside down. Yay! And then give it that third. When you're done with that, then you just go ahead and connect these lines. And then you connect the line here. And there is your rectangular prism. Let me fix mine up a little bit. That's why we use pencil. Even teachers make mistakes. Yay! So rectangular prism. Rectangular prism. Oops, wrong side, sorry. The next shape is a cylinder. So cylinders are kind of harder to draw, I think, because it's like a rectangle meets circles. So the first thing we're going to go ahead and do is draw one circle at the top. Or it's actually more like an oval, sorry. So go ahead and draw your oval. So up here you have your oval. Then you're going to go ahead and draw, like you're drawing part of a rectangle, but you just didn't bother drawing the other two. Let me fix that line. So you drew half of the rectangle. Good enough. Who needs the other two sides of a rectangle? So you did that. Then you're going to go down to the bottom. So you take those two lines on the side. You're going to go down to the bottom. Give it a nice half an oval, a little smiley face here. And then you're going to go ahead and either give it a solid line or a nice dotted line. And there you have it, a cylinder. I'm going to hold it back up in just a second. Sorry. It's hard to write while it's up in the air. The last shape we have is a cone. So first thing you're going to do is kind of draw 2/3 of a shape, and then you just kind of give up at first. I did most of it. Good enough. So you're going to start with a triangle. And you start with a triangle here. You drew the 2 lines of the triangle, and then you just stopped. Who needs 3 sides? Then you're going to go ahead and give it that another like smiley face, half oval. And then go ahead and complete it with the rest in oval. And there you have it. You have a cone. So have fun making a shape with this. Maybe you want to stack them to make a castle or whatever. Maybe you just want to practice drawing your 3D shapes. There's absolutely nothing wrong with doing this if you just want to practice this. Maybe you want to take some of these shapes and make something with it instead of just drawing shapes. It's entirely up to you. This is something we can't really do in class, or you can't really do outside of class when you're at home. So just do your best. I can't wait to see what you guys drew and kind of have fun with it. And then just let me know what you drew, how many you drew, and keep it simple, a sentence each. I'm not needing a whole paragraph response. This last one, it says, Maria made a structure using 3-dimensional shapes. Use your shapes to try to make the same structure as Maria as your teacher reads the description of Maria's structure. Maria's structure has the following: 1 rectangular prism with the shortest face touching the table, 1 cube on top and to the right of the rectangular prism, and 1 cylinder on top of the cube with the circular face touching the cube. That's a lot. So rather than this being a quiz, I want to kind of have us draw this together, okay? So let's start with the first. It says it's on a table. So we're kind of just going to draw a nice little line to show, hey, this is our table. Here's my table. Yay! The next it says 1 rectangular prism with the shortest face touching the table. So when we're looking at a rectangular prism, here this is the shortest face. It's the shortest, and here's the longest. So if we have the shortest face touching the table, we kind of need it this way. So when we're drawing it, we're going to draw it this way. So it's kind of like a tower. So I'm going to draw my rectangular prism. So I'm going to draw a rectangle standing up and down this way on the table. Then I'm going to make it my prism and go ahead and add the lines here. Go ahead and connect until it looks like a rectangular prism. The next one says 1 cube on top and to the right of the rectangular prism. So on top and to the right. How on earth am I supposed to do that, Miss Fisher? You want it on the right and on top. So what we're kind of doing is putting it to the side. We're not going to put it exactly on top. So this is the right and on top. So it's kind of over to the side. And there's our cube and our square, and now we turn it into a cube. The last one, it says 1 cylinder on top of the cube with the circle face touching the cube. So we want the circle here, not the long part, because if you were to draw a cylinder, you could draw it this way, but it wants the circle part on top of the cube. So to do that, we're going to draw it the same way we had it before, with the circular part or the oval up here, and our lines going down, and then continue drawing your ovals. And there you have it. A rectangular prism with a cube to the top and to the right, and a cylinder on top with the circular face touching the cube. Quite the image. So obviously I'm not looking for perfection here, just kind of do your best. And this quiz was a little difficult and hard to do without it, so that's why I'm not going to grade it as a quiz and just part of the assignment. That is it for lesson 6, and I hope that was helpful. I hope you enjoy learning some more about 3D shapes. They're very interesting, and most of what kind of shapes we have in real life. Most shapes we run into aren't flat. We run into rectangular prisms, cubes, cones, and spheres more than we run into a flat 2D shape. All right, bye guys.